In this video, I'm going to show you how to make sound on your flute. So we're going to start out with the flute here, but actually, the way I learned and the way I was taught to show other people how to play is to start with just the head joint. So make sure that the open end of the head joint is to your right, because that's the way the flute is going to be when you hold it. So we are not blowing directly into the hole, we are blowing across the hole. I'm going to move the camera closer here so you can see. I'm going to cover the end like this. So the first thing that you want to do is actually practice just getting a sound out of it. Now, if you don't get it immediately, don't be discouraged, because it takes practice to be able to do that. For me, it took me about a week. And I was learning as an adult, already having played a lot of different musical instruments. And I learn instruments easily. So if it takes me a week to learn, then if you don't get it on the first day, don't feel discouraged. Some people get it naturally and they get it really quickly, which is awesome. And if you are one of those lucky people, congratulations. If you're not, it doesn't mean that you can't play the flute. It just means that you're going to have to practice for a while. So important things are that you have your lower lip against the lip plate. So that's this whole thing right here. This is the lip plate. And so your bottom lip is going to be against this right here, just touching the edge of that hole. That hole, the feeling of that hole is a really good reference to know that you're in the right place, because you can't feel the rest of it. So that's how I'm able to make sure that I get it, so that every time I bring the flute up to my mouth, I can get sound without having to move it around and experiment. But my first week was just me constantly trying to figure out how to get sound out of it. And it was really hard and it was really frustrating, and I really didn't want to play flute. So if you experience a lot of those same feelings, you're not alone. It's a normal thing, but you will get past it. You just have to keep working on it every day, and you will get results if you don't give up. So you want to make a nice small opening there. One thing that I learned is that I couldn't get sound if my mouth was very closed. As soon as I open my mouth more, so drop my jaw, then I was able to get sound. So if you're still struggling, make sure your mouth is wider open when you do that. So open your teeth. Excuse me. More open will get that sound. Then, let me get the rest of the flute. Here we go. Once you can get that, and you can pull it away, and then put it back, and take it away, put it back up, put it away, take it back up. Doing that is really going to help you so that you don't have to struggle with it later. Then practice it with the flute. And then practice with, maybe fingering for a B flat. B flat is thumb on that key, index finger there. These are going to be open, but they're going to be ready. And then first and last, your pinky is on that. And here's B flat. Try practice taking it away, putting it back up. Take it down, bring it back up. And just work on that. I know it's super boring, and it can be really frustrating, but if you do that early on, you won't have to struggle with it later, and you can worry about other complicated things that have to do with playing the flute or any other musical instrument. So get that hard part out of the way. There are other parts of playing flute that are difficult, as with any instrument that you could possibly choose. But in my opinion, the hardest thing, in my experience, the hardest thing about playing flute was just getting the sound out of it. So if you focus on that, you might feel like you're a little bit farther behind than the beginners who are playing other instruments at first, but you will catch up. But you just need to just keep working on it. And remember, you have the lightest instrument of anybody in band, so you've got to make up for it somehow. And so you've got to make up for it by having something that's pretty challenging. But after practicing it enough, I don't have to think about that anymore. It just happens. I don't think about it. So think about any other skill that you've developed, whether that's playing a video game or playing a sport, that you don't have to think about it anymore, because everything just comes naturally. If you're playing your game, you don't think about what buttons you're pushing. If you're playing soccer, you don't think about where you're moving your feet or how you kick the ball. You just do it. And the same thing with any musical instrument is that if you keep on practicing it, eventually you don't have to think about it. And that way you can divert your attention to other more challenging aspects of it and play more difficult music. So I hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching.